What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So I got home from work today and came home to a package. So I got my Kill All Wipers Wiper Delete kit for the Mini since somebody had taken my other Wiper Delete off. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this installed. So it's really cool. I was able to get the Wiper Delete, which has the logo on the back side and then the cover for the inside, and it comes with the glue to glue everything in, or the sealant. And then they threw in an extra air freshener, and then I had ordered a couple more. Because of the wait time, they threw in a couple extra. So now that I have this, I'm gonna go ahead and take the panels off and get everything installed. Alright, so now that I got everything cleaned, because I had electric tape on it because it was sitting outside. Got everything cleaned up here. So you have the hole on the inside. And then of course the hole in the glass on the outside. So we're gonna go ahead, now that everything's clean, I have to test fit the new Wiper Delete and then prepare to seal it. So I need to get a couple more supplies. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll show you guys when it's installed. Alright guys, so I used blue painter's tape to help hold and seal the Wiper Delete. So you can kind of see where it is. It goes just right there. It's a little bit thicker on the back side, but that's to hold it in. And then, if I bring this down, this is gonna be the Wiper Delete here. It's got the sealant on it, and I'm waiting for it to dry. I gotta wait about an hour. And then it's got the protective cover on it, so once everything is set, I can come and show you guys, and we'll go ahead and pull the cover off. That way I can have a new Wiper Delete. And this one should sit pretty flush. So I'm gonna look at this one for a while. And when somebody finally stole my other one, it gave me a reason to get a new one. So it has been an hour or more at this point, because I had to cook dinner and then clean up. So we're gonna go ahead, and I just gotta get this cover off. So there we go. And then I just gotta, I'm gonna have to clean that up, but it looks a lot better than it did. Now that that's like that, I can go ahead and also peel that off. Then knowing it's backwards and upside down at this point is Kill All Wipers. So you're not gonna be able to see it because it is gonna be under the cover. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that back on, and then I'll explain what's going on with the rest of the car. Alright, so with the rear Wiper Delete done, I've on and off been working on the car for the last couple of weeks. I was originally chasing an oil leak, which after pulling everything apart, doing the oil pan gasket, which was seeping, so I did need to do it, I realized that the major leak I was having wasn't coming from the oil pan gasket. So that brought up another issue, that my power steering pump is leaking. So there's a recall on the power steering pump, so once I get the car back on the ground, I get to call the dealership and take it in for the recall, hope they can get a loaner car, because the dealership is about 25-30 minutes away. And I'd really like to have a loaner car to play with, so I don't have to be, you know, having a friend drive me back and forth, because that takes a couple hours out of their time, because they have to drop me off and then pick me back, you know, and then take me back to get my car. So I'm gonna hopefully try and get a loaner out of them, but I do have to have the car on the ground first. So let me go ahead and show you what I've done and what I still kind of have left. So just on the top, I ended up doing the valve cover gasket because it was leaking onto the exhaust manifold and the heat shield that goes here. I still have to put the heat shield back in. I'm getting ready to do that next. I did clean up some of these MSD wires, and gonna end up ordering another set because this one does have a chunk missing out of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and have to replace that. It won't focus on it, but there's a chunk missing here. So I wanna go ahead and replace those just for safety. I still have to clean this one. I cleaned all these other ones, but still have to clean this one. The cloth I was using dried before that. And I also want to try and scrub the compression marks off of the valve cover, because it is going to be show season soon. So I do need to start knocking that out. The main thing I did while everything was apart, besides cleaning up some stuff, is I relocated my oil cooler. So I don't know how much you're going to be able to see. It's not really bolted up yet. But instead of being mounted down beneath where it was, because it was down somewhere in here, I just kind of hacked a measured and hacked out a section in the bumper support, which allows it to fit in and gets the oil lines and the oil thermostat up higher. I do need to reinforce the hoses here so it doesn't rub against the bumper support, but I do want to get everything on so I can figure out where everything rubs, so I can, you know, make sure I reinforce the right parts and make it a little bit easier. So I still have to put that all back together, and I gotta put the fender liner in, put the wheel on. So not much left to do. I'm hoping I can come home from work tomorrow and get that done, because I've been working a lot of hours because of all the COVID stuff going on. But you know, I'm starting to get everything back together and cleaned up because show season is starting to become upon us. But I got a lot to get done on this car. First thing I have to do is get it back on the ground, get the pieces back together, and get it to the dealership so they can do what they gotta do, and I can get it back, rip it all back apart. I still have to do the heater core because this thing doesn't have a heater. It hasn't had a heater for a couple of years, and that kind of gets unbearable. I want to start driving this thing to work instead of the truck because it's a lot cheaper. So first is gonna be a dealership. Second, I'm gonna be ripping the thing back apart. Got to do the coolant line. I'm gonna do the Mission Moto coolant lines that I've had for a while, and the heater core, and do a couple other things like that. So I start making the car a little bit more showable. Got to put the bigger intercooler back on. I did do an ATI fluid dampener, so I don't have to worry about the standard crank pulley braking. So maintenance parts, and pretty much it. Want to make it a good, reliable daily driver so I can take it to work and back and not have to worry about driving the truck, which is getting a few upgrades. So I know in the last video there was a few upgrades being done to the truck. I had to do like the thermostat, and there was a couple other things I had to do. So if you don't know what's going on, go ahead and watch that video and then go ahead and come back. But it's the end. I'm gonna wrap it up for this one. So go ahead and make sure you guys like, follow, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll start putting out more content.